Good morning. Sorry, you want to say good morning? It's
Good morning.
It's so great to be here in Southwest Florida. We're going to open up today with a very special friend of my family and of the state of Florida, Nicholas Thompson, for coming and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good job. Nicholas's proud daddy is Circuit Judge Nick Thompson. We served in the Florida House together. Judge, it's great to see you. Thank you all for being here to join us today here in Fort Myers to understand the important message we're here today and talk about hurricane preparedness, and also to showcase what I think is the elite of the elite when it comes to our firefighters as our urban search and rescue team here, right here from Southwest Florida. We've got Task Force 6. We're also here with the San Carlos Park Fire Rescue Service. We have Division Chief Glenn Van Burnt here. I know Shane's here. Shane, thank you for being here, their task force leader. We've got our Lee County Commissioner Brian Hammond. Thank you for being here. Of course, our Sheriff Carmine, thank you so much for being here. And then also Mayor Kevin Anderson. Kevin, thank you so much. And then we also have a couple of our legislators here from your backyard, Adam Botana and Kaylee Tuck. They're both very dear friends to me because they sign my budget. They appropriate what we get to do in Tallahassee, but they look out for Southwest Florida when it comes to when it takes making policy that makes sense in the state. But as we move forward with the hurricane season, 2021 has begun. We've already seen we've got a tropical depression that is developing out in the Gulf of Mexico. We're anticipating as many as 20 storms, maybe 5 significant storms over this next year. The storm that we have, Claudette, that's probably going to become into a tropical depression later today. It's going to bring a significant amount of rain, possibly some flooding up to the northwest Florida part of the state. But hurricane and weather systems can develop overnight. You know too well that Irma is still a pretty recent memory in everybody's minds here as it affected this part of the state in such a devastating way. But it's critical that our residents heed all the warnings of all of our elected officials, all of our folks that lead the safety, the rescue of our communities, and help our individuals stay safe before, during, and after the storm. But we're here to encourage Floridians to prepare now. You can't prepare later. It's about preparing now. And one things I love telling people, everybody can dig into your pocket and they all have a smartphone. And if COVID taught us, we are more dependent on these. Hey, look, I missed a scam call. But we're more dependent on our cell phones than ever before. Now I tell folks, take your phone and walk up to the outside of your house and take a little video. Walk around your house, just take a video of it, all right? Then go inside your house, take another little video of it. Here's what you're accomplishing. You're accomplishing photographic evidence of what your house looks like today, all right? A storm hits, and what do? You pick up the phone, you're gonna call us, or you're gonna call your insurance agent, and you're gonna call your carrier, and they're gonna come. And they're gonna do the exact same thing. They're gonna take pictures of the outside and inside of your house. Well, now you've got photographic evidence of what it looked like before the storm. That's what the adjuster does. The adjuster comes in to want to size up, all right, what was possibly pre-damage and post-damage. So when you have that type of evidence sitting there, it helps make your case, your claim so much clearer and easier to understand, and helps you get closure financially so you can move on. And I tell people, get those little videos, those photos, and email them to yourself. Put them in a virtual place, put them in a cloud, because who knows, you may be without power, you may be without cell service, you may be without internet service. So you've got something there that ultimately will help you move forward and deal with the claim. But it's more importantly than anything else, we can replace stuff, we really can, but we cannot replace your lives. We cannot replace your loved ones. And what we don't want to do is we want to showcase what these men and women do. These are the first boots on the ground immediately after a storm. These are the men and women that, typically whether it be the Department of Transportation, the Sheriff's Office, county, maybe even the Army, the National Guard, they will work hand in hand with forestry, and they will cut the paths into the neighborhoods where these men and women will go door to door, not once, not twice, not 3 times, 4 times. They will ensure the safe health and welfare of every one of the citizens that is in that dwelling. But you know what? Their job shouldn't be that hard. You should heed the evacuation warnings, and you should obey when people tell you it's time to go. You should do it, because these men and women, the role that they play is amazing. They save lives every single day. We want to make sure that their job is as simple as it can. You know what? And I would much rather them go to an empty home after a storm than go to a home and have to dig somebody out of it. But you know what? But that's what they're willing to do. And I want to give them a round of applause. You know, the sheriff has an incredibly important role, because you think about just the scoundrels that come out the worst time after a storm. Storms, people are vulnerable. They're concerned about the well-being of their loved ones. They're concerned about the well-being of the house, how they're going to recover. And these scoundrels come out, and we see the worst of the worst in people. And it's hard. We see the best in people. We see the giving, the sharing, the support. But you see those people that come out that really are up to no good. And the sheriff and his deputies, they go out. They're on the streets. And you know what? They have loved ones too. They have homes. They have families. They have to take care of. So you know what? Again, making their job easier. If it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. Don't let anybody take advantage of you when it comes to the time of the recovery after the storm. I tell people all the time, I say, if someone comes and knocks on your door and offers to clear trees, do whatever, and they say, well, you got to pay me cash because the banks are closed. You might as well just kiss that cash goodbye. And let me tell you, there's no insurance company that's going to pay you any reimbursements based on you making a cash transaction. It just doesn't happen. So again, wanted to showcase, what we needed to do in our pre-storm. This is such an amazing place that we live. Paradise is this is what Florida is all about. 900 people a day move to this state. But you know what? Those 900 people that move here have never experienced a hurricane before. So it's important that we keep aware that we've got new neighbors coming to this part of the state, and they come here because our people. They come here because how you treat them. They come here because the sheriff keeps them safe. People will not invest. They won't bring a business to Florida. They won't build a building in Florida. They won't make investments in Florida if it's not safe. And the safety net that works 24/7, 365 through hurricanes, through anniversaries, through birthdays, through pandemics is what we have here at Simple today. And this is why Florida is such an incredible place to live, raise a family, and continue to grow this incredible economy. Governor DeSantis is doing an amazing job. I'd be remiss if I didn't give him a shout out. But it's all possible because we got good legislators that show up and they go to Tallahassee and they fight. They fight for what's important to this part of the state. The state of Florida is about 5 different countries. It's not really one state, and to be able to bring those policies together every single legislative session is a little bit of a challenge. One of the things I want to highlight, and especially thank our legislators for, first year in the history of the state of Florida and this legislature has appropriated $500,000 to provide for training for the men and women that we have here behind us, to make sure they always have the resources they need to do their job. Heather, you can go ahead and clap. Go ahead. It's a big deal. But you got to prepare for the disasters now. You can't wait till later. If it sounds too good to be true, it is, and you want to make sure it's not too late. The 2021 season is among us, and I just by a show of hands, I may get a little, I tell people I'm gonna get emotional because I will. How many of y'all deployed out to Panama City after Hurricane Michael? Raise your hands. These men and women, they came to my hometown, and Shane and I were talking about it earlier. They slept on a Home Depot parking lot for almost 2 weeks. Ate sometimes warm food, sometimes cold food, away from their loved ones, but went door to door in our community in order to save the lives in Northwest Florida. And that's what we do with these amazing men and women. That's what we do with our amazing men and women in law enforcement. They go, they take their resources, and they go and we look out for each other. And it's not just Florida that they do this for. They're doing mutual aid in the other states in the Southeast region. So from my family to every one of y'all, thank you so much for what you do in making a difference, especially the recovery of Northwest Florida. That one storm was almost 150,000 insurance claims, $6.6 billion worth of damage. It's real stuff. It's real challenges. and it's a real recovery. And these men and women are what makes a difference in life and death when it comes time to those storms. Last thing I'll leave you with is please check out our website. It's preparefl.com. That is our state of Florida's emergency preparedness website. Good checklist of things. You can go there. Want to make sure that you review the website, the checklist, and again, it'll cover things that I have not brought up to your attention today. And lastly, again, thank you, Sheriff. Come on up. No, appreciate you being here. Thank you so much, Sheriff, for what you do. We get to work hand in hand. We've got about 300 sworn law enforcement at the Department of Financial Services that do fraud investigation. They will make the rounds. They will make sure we do everything humanly possible to keep you safe. All we ask is help us make our job a little bit easier. Now we're going to bring up Chief Glenn Van Burt to come up and make a few comments, and then we'll have Commissioner Brian Hamill will come up next.
Good morning. On behalf of the St. Charles Park Fire District Board of Commissioners and Fire Chief David Camberry, I'd like to thank and welcome everyone here on this day, the 18th hurricane season. I'm Division Chief Glenn Van Brunt, and it's my honor to speak to you today about hurricane preparedness. Over the course of my 30 years, I've responded to numerous natural disasters across our state as both a firefighter paramedic and as a team member of the Southwest Florida Urban Search and Rescue. Unfortunately, the devastation that those hurricanes will remain some of the most memorable moments of my career. Today, we ask you to work alongside of us. We ask that you prepare in advance of any hurricane that may threaten our community. Preparing for hurricane season not only helps you, it helps our community as a whole. Your preparation allows first responders to focus their attention on mitigating hazards and assisting those sick and injured. So let's work together to prepare this hurricane season. Thank you.
Well, thank you, CFO Patronis. Thank you, Chief. And I want to just start out first by saying thank you very much to the men and women who are here, who are our first responders today. Everybody from the Sheriff's Department to the different fire departments to our EMS and emergency services with Lee County. These are the folks who are going to come running in when the rest of us are running away. And so I can't say thanks enough for the tremendous sense of comfort that we have and safety that we have in our community because of the jobs that you do. I want to say thanks to Jimmy. You mentioned that we sent a team up to Bay County. Well, I remember when Hurricane Irma hit here in Lee County, one of the very first statewide elected officials to come and check on us was you, CFO Patronis. So thank you very much for being there for us when we needed you after Hurricane Irma, and we know we can count on you again. So thank you very much.
Sure.
So the message is simple today, and I'm going to say it again. We want you to prepare now for hurricane season. We want you to prepare now and have an idea of what you're going to do if the news comes on and says a storm is heading our way. A lot of folks have moved here thanks to the great work that our governor has done. A lot of folks are new and they maybe haven't been through a hurricane before. I want to give you a resource. We have leegov.com/hurricane. leegov.com/hurricane. If you're looking for local information to find out where your evacuation zone is and other things that you need to do to prepare, that's a great resource for you. We want you to think of a plan now. If you live in a home that's in an evacuation zone, that could be evacuated, we want you to think about where you're going to go right now. And the shelter will be there for you, but really we want you to think of the shelter as a last resort. We really want you to have a plan for where you're going to go out of town. So start making those plans now, and we hope we'll never have to use them. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate you.
Good morning. And thank you, CFO, for all you do for the state of Florida, as well as all the elected officials and lawmakers. You know, as a 27-year veteran of law enforcement, the grandson of an assistant fire chief, the brother of a former EMT and current fire commissioner, I understand the importance of public safety and what the men and women, the first responders, what you all do to keep our community safe. Nothing else matters if we can't keep our community safe. So my message always to people is the first step to recovery from a hurricane or any natural disaster is being prepared. And listen to the authorities. Follow their directions. That makes the recovery that much more easier. And that really shows support for our first responders and those who are going to come in after the storm and save us. Be prepared, help them ahead of the time. So thank you all very much.
And now I'd like to invite Shane Shaver to come and say a few words. Shane. Thanks, bud.
Good morning. Thank
Morning.
you for everyone coming. And how about another big round of applause for this team? I'm so surprised they made me program manager, so we'll just leave it at that. But, as you know, my name is Shane Cyber. I'm the program manager for Southwest Florida Urban Search and Rescue Task Force 6, affectionately known as Florida Task Force 6. We are a joint cooperative partnership between the following agencies: Bonita Springs, Estero, St. Carlos Park, South Trail, Island McGregor, Fort Myers Beach, North Collier, Fort Myers Shores, Tice, City of Cape Coral, and City of Fort Myers Fire Departments, as well as Lee County EMS and Public Safety, who is on hand, and the Sheriff's Office, always as one of our great support units if ever needed, and our local community service partners. Florida Task Force 6 relies on these community service partnerships. Without it, we can't make our missions possible. So again, we thank you for that. Throughout history, hurricanes, tornadoes, and floods have affected each region of Florida. Rapid residential growth and increased commercial development increases the potential for disasters as well. An increased emphasis on the preparation for these incidents calls for a proportionate response capability. The Florida Urban Search and Rescue Response System, otherwise known as FLUSAR, provides that coordination, development, and maintenance for those resources to locate, extricate, provide immediate medical treatment to those victims trapped in structures, and conduct other life-saving operations caused by natural man-made disasters. It's this crew of men and women behind you, as well as our partnerships. Our team, Florida Task Force 6, provides a rapid deployment of high-caliber personnel trained and equipped to operate in these type scenarios. In sum, I like to say preparation is key, all right, when it comes to ensuring the safety of your home and your family during the hurricane season. Having the supplies on hand and following the alerts of your local emergency professionals could save your life and makes our jobs way easier. Trust me when I say that. Without a doubt, the elite training, skill, and expertise of Florida Task Force 6, we will run towards danger and provide life-saving resources to the communities and the citizens we serve. In sum, a huge thank you to CFO Patronis for recognizing our first responders today and bringing awareness to the importance of the hurricane season preparedness. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
The commissioner mentioned about being here right after Hurricane Irma. And as we headed south after Hurricane Irma was crossing the Georgia line, stopped in Hillsborough County, and I was brand new on the job. And I like to share this story, and I'm digressing a little bit, but I just want to say this because of the importance that the sheriff plays in the recovery after a storm. And I go and I get embedded with Hillsborough Fire Rescue, and we're all of a sudden we're responding to a call. So as we're responding to a call, we go and we pause for a minute. We pull into a closed gas station, and I'm looking around at everybody. I said, and y'all know what I'm about to talk about. I go, why are we stopping? And the scene's too hot. Hillsborough Sheriff's Office has got to cool it off before we can go pull in. And we don't think about this, that somebody dials 911, and these guys are going to go in no matter what. But sometimes it's not a friendly situation to go into in the first place. Sheriff's Office will be there to respond, take care, secure the scene, and then the men and women get to come in and administer the life-saving aid that comes in afterwards. That's what these guys do every single day, 24/7, 365. And if you hadn't had a chance to spend some time with Carmine, he's got one of these hugs that takes the pain away. And not only is he an incredible leader in this part of the state, but he's an incredible leader statewide. And he's a dear friend to me and a dear friend to law enforcement. Cheers.
for being here today. CFO Patronis, I know your schedule. We talk regularly. It's amazing. I don't know, I think you sleep about an hour or two a night, if that. And anytime there's anything that I need, you're always there. And I can't thank you enough for making Lee County one of your stops today. Thank you so much. Let's give him a round. He really did. We got such a great state. We really do. We have an amazing governor who's a true leader. We have an amazing attorney general. People that make decisions like our CFO and people at the highest places there's no I in team. There's no I in team. And I'll tell you, I'm proud to be a part of it. As I stand here with our fellow family members in fire and EMS and everywhere you look, we come together in this state. And let me tell you, there's a reason why over 900 people move here every day and never leave. And it's more than sunshine. It's not just the beautiful beaches. It's not just the sunshine. There's beaches everywhere in the country. The sun shines everywhere, maybe not as much as here, and there's snows in other places. But I'll tell you, they come because what's number one is safety and security. Safety and security, which is rare today, unfortunately, in other places. In the state of Florida, we have that because of great leadership and the boots on the ground that absolutely make that happen. Thank you. Having the ability to reach out and talk to the governor at any time, and he calls on me at any time, our CFO, our Attorney General, our State Attorney Amira Fox, again, our county commissioners do an amazing job. Our County Manager Roger DeJarlais. At every level, your government is working together cohesively for you, the citizens of our county, which is the way it's supposed to work, and that's ideal. So from the Sheriff's Office perspective, what do we say and what are we going to look at as a hurricane? You've heard from everybody here in great detail, okay? But what do we want? As Mayor Anderson said, listen. You know, we're all our worst enemy. You know, we know best and we don't listen very well at times. But listen to the professionals that are on the ground telling you it's not safe. Listen to when we tell you we need you to evacuate. Because when you don't, the chances are it could be catastrophic. And then you put yourself, your family, and other people's lives in danger. We need you to help us be part of that team. Talking about hurricanes, how quickly do storms change pattern? And we think we're in the safe zone, and all of a sudden, at the last second, it takes a twist and it hits us hard. We've seen that. Okay, so listen. We have smartphones. We're using social media constantly, as we all know. If you go to a restaurant, everybody's on their phone. Okay, there's very little conversation. Look at your iPhones, look at the updates, listen to the professionals and the boots on the street. We ask that the media helps us get those messages out, what you do, and we're thankful for during these hurricane-type scenarios and emergency scenarios, okay? Most importantly, our residents are going to be safe in this county and in this state, and that's our number one priority. After the storm, our CFO touched on it. If you don't play the lottery and someone says you hit the lottery, it's usually a clue that something's not right. Don't go giving money to people that are contractors. Don't give cash money. Understand when someone calls and asks for your identity, a credit card, your information over the phone, you don't give it out. We don't want people to become a victim of a crime. So we're going to do everything we can to protect you. And more importantly, if God forbid you are, we have all the resources to assist you. Reach out to us. If something's not right, please reach out to us. We are here to make certain that we do everything we can to protect you. And I'm very thankful to be part of this great team. And there's no I in team. I say that all the time. Our citizens are amazing in this county. We get more calls from our citizens and we engage them at every level that we never have before. And that is called success. So thank you for being here. We want to work as a team to make sure you're safe, and that we will do. CFO, again, I can't thank you enough for your friendship, for your professionalism. What you do around our state is second to none. You, the governor, the attorney general, we got the greatest team, and that's why people come to the Sunshine State, because it's number one. Thank you.
We'll close with our legislators. Again, I know I touched on them a little bit earlier. I had an honor to serve in the Florida House of Representatives for 8 years, and to be able to go and represent your neighbors, your loved ones, your businesses, your families in Tallahassee, and you hash out those policies that make a difference in your communities to create this incredible state on the path that we're on. It happens because they listen, they take time away from their families and go out and they provide the resources back to this part of the state to have the type of things that we need to be able to do our jobs. I'll start with Adam. Adam and I got to be good friends. Small business owner, you know, we both can relate. He's kind of been in the food business. I lived in the food business, but we do understand what it is to take care of the customer business. Adam is a dear friend to the citizens of this part of the state, as he is to the state of Florida and myself. Adam, thanks.
Thank you, CFO. And as we've all talked about up here, if you were here after Irma or Charlie or Wilma, Carmine, Fire Department, all you guys are the first ones out here. And I want to say thank you. From the Florida Legislature with the anti-rioting bill, we're going to support you all the way. We're going to support the urban search and rescue because this is something that needs to happen here. And I've knocked on a few of your doors. I'm sure I've met you, but we're in San Carlos Park, my district. And thank you very much. And thank you, CFO.
Appreciate you. Thank you. I tell you, these legislators have hit the ground running. Kaylee had an incredible, successful legislative session. She loves her district. She has been such a trooper, and it is a long ways from this part of the state to Tallahassee that they go and they commute and they fight it out with other legislators from all other parts of the state. Kaylee is an incredible asset to this part of the state. Kaylee, come on down.
Thank you, CFO, and thank you for welcoming me into your district. I'm actually from Highlands County, so a little bit more center of the state. But I had the pleasure of learning a lot about urban search and rescue this session. I ran a bill related to liability protection for school members. So I had the privilege of learning, and it's incredible to see what these teams can do, but more importantly, the sacrifices they make to keep our citizens safe. So I just want to reiterate and make clear that we at the Florida Legislature want to make sure that you have the resources, the training, and all the support that you need to make sure that you go back to your family safe and you can get the job done efficiently and effectively for the community. So thank you again for your hard work, and thank you all so much.
This concludes our program.